Good morning and welcome to edutainment.com. Today we are going to discuss about something which is closely related to our day-to-day life and day-to-day business. Okay, which is nothing but figures and facts. So in this class we are going to discuss about measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency. This we call as average also. Okay, average. So now you have understood that why I have told that we are going to discuss about something which is happening in our day-to-day life, which is very important in our day-to-day life. Okay, so or in our day-to-day business also. So in averages, majorly we are going to talk about three types of averages: mean, median, and mode. In mean, we are going to discuss about only arithmetic mean. Okay. So because it is related to business, so these three are the major averages which you wanted to know. So initially, we are going to talk about arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean. Okay. Theoretically, if you want to explain, this is an average of a data. It may be individual data, it may be a group of data, or it may be a range of data. Okay. So it is better when we go through some problems, you can understand how to find out arithmetic mean, because we need not to know that what is the definition of arithmetic mean. We need to know how to apply arithmetic mean and how to find out arithmetic mean in our day-to-day life or day-to-day business. Okay. So what I am going to do is I am going to tell you through one problem how to find out arithmetic mean. So for example, you take one person, Mr. Roy. Mr. Roy is a businessman. Okay. So in day-to-day business, there will be a lot of incomes, expenditure, like petty expenditure or parts, something we have to purchase expenses, like that. So we are taking petty expenses for 10 days of Mr. Roy's business. Okay, so we are going to use expenditure data for finding out the average expense of Mr. Roy for 10 days. Okay, this is what we have to find out. So we have to find out arithmetic mean of this data, and expenses we take it as x, because in mathematics you always find x, d kind of words which is denoting something. So we will take this data as x, and our data is expense. This expense is the petty expense or sundry expenses for 10 days of Mr. Roy. Okay, so we will take 1000, 2000, 1400, 1500, 1200, 2800, 2100, 2400, 1250, and 1340. So this is the 10 days expenditure for Mr. Roy for sundry expenses or petty expenses, whatever you call. Okay. So what we have to find out is the average of these sundry expenses. That means we have to find out the average expenses for 10 days for Mr. Roy. So what we have to do is we have to find out the average, that is arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is denoted as x bar. Okay, and what we have to find out is x bar. So we have to use certain formulas to find out the data, average of the data. Okay. So what we will find out is x bar is equal to sigma x by n, whereas sigma x is the sum of data, given data. Okay, is equal to sigma x. Sigma is the total, in fact. So sum of the data, and n is the number of data available. Okay, or number of days. In this case, it is the number of days. Okay, so what we have to find out is the sum of this data we have to find out first. So we will add it up. 0 plus 5 9, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 4 9, 10, 18, 20, 25, 29, minus 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. So we have added it up into 15,990 is the sum of this expense. That means 10 days expenditure for Mr. Roy is 15,990 in century level, and it is 10 days. Okay. N is equal to 10 days, and this is sigma x. Okay, now we have to find out the average of 10 days expenditure. So what we will apply here is the formula sigma x is equal to x bar is equal to sigma x by n. So what is sigma x? 15,990. 15,990 divided by n is 10. So what is the average? Is equal to 1599. So 1599 rupees. That means 1599 is the average expense of Mr. Roy for the last 10 days. Okay, this is one type of finding out the average.